In this video section, we're going to talk about solving equation applications. So when you hear the title, solving equation application, is just basically word problems converted into an equation. So when you're given a word problem, you're tasked to assign a variable, write out what the variable represents, write out the equation, and then solve the equation. So you're solving for the variable. So again, when you're given a word problem, follow these points right here. Write out the variable, write out what it represents, make your equation, and you solve for that variable, so you're solving for the equation. So that's all you gotta do, but the most important thing is setting up the equation correctly. If it's not set up correctly, you will not be able to get the correct answer. So it's important that you write out all the information, meaning you list it out, visually easily see what you have, and then connect them. You know, what is a variable, what does it represent, write out your proper equation, and then solve it to get your correct answer. So follow these points, and we're going to start solving equations given word problems. Alright, first example, the question is, or the word problem is, when 6 is added to 4 times the number, the result is 50. Find the number. So let's analyze parts of the word problem. So usually I go for which one is the variable. So I go right here, 4 times a number. So when it says 4 times a number, basically an unknown number here. So if it's unknown, 4 times a number, that means that this will be x. Now, do you have to use x all the time? You don't have to. You can use any variable. So my x is the variable, and it's the unknown number. So, but when it says 4 times a number, it means 4 times x, so 4x. Now, here it says when 6 is added to 4 times the number, so that means it's going to be like plus 6. And then, if we go here, the result is 50. That means what was the whole word problem is equal to 50. So let me write it out and make our equation. So 4 times the number, that's 4x. When 6 is added to 4 times the number, that means you're going to add 6 to 4x, so plus 6, and the result is 50. So that means the whole equation will equal to 50. So we have our equation. 4x plus 6 equals 50. So now we just need to solve for x. What I'm going to do is I want to get rid of plus 6 from the left, so I got to do the opposite. So minus 6. Do it on the left. I have to do it on the right. So 4x equals 50 minus 6 will be 44. And then I have to simplify 4x. I want to get x by itself. 4 is in front. It's multiplying, so the opposite is divide by 4. So since I did it on the left, I got to do it on the right. So on my left, 4x divided by 4, so when it's 4 divided by 4 is just 1, I am left with x on the left side equal 44 divided by 4, that would be 11. So 11 is the unknown number, and that is our final answer for this word problem. Alright, in our second example, we have the word problem. Karen works $6 an hour. $50 is deducted from her paycheck for taxes. Karen is trying to save up to $1,150 for a vacation trip. How many hours does she need to work? So meaning, how much does she need to work? How many hours does she need to work in order to get $1,150 for her paycheck? So we need to identify our information. So the first one, Karen works $6 an hour. So $6 an hour. So let's say we use H as our variable. So when it says $6 an hour, it means $6 per hour. So it's multiplying, so it's going to be 6H. Now $50 is deducted from her paycheck. So deducting means subtract, take away. So if $50 is deducted, that means it's going to be minus 50 on her paycheck. And she is trying to save up to $1,150. So that means that at the end, after her taxes are deducted, she wants it where she earned $1,150 from her paycheck. So the question asks, how many hours does she need to work? So let's set up our equation. We have 6H. That's how much she makes per hour. And then for her taxes, $50 is deducted, so minus 50. And at the end, after taxes, she wants to be able to earn $1,150. So here's our equation. Let's solve it. Since I want to get 6H by itself, I want to get rid of the 50. So opposite of 50 minus 50 will be plus 50. I add 50 on the left, I gotta add 50 on the right. So I bring down 6H, the 50 cancels. 1,150 plus 50 will be 1,200. Next, I want to get H by itself. Since 6 is multiplying with H, the opposite is divide. So I'm going to divide by 6. And then here, divide by 6. Now, 6 divided by 6 will be 1. So on the left side, all I'm left is with H. And then next, I'm going to do 1,200 divided by 6. Well, 6 can go 1,200 200 times. So that means that Karen needs to work 200 hours. So that's all she needs to do in order to earn $1,150. Now, if you're unsure on how to divide 1,200 by 6, all we gotta do is set it up. So, long division. The denominator goes on the outside, so 6. The numerator goes on the inside. Now 6 does not go into 1, so I'm going to put 0 on the top. And instead of 1, I'm going to use the second one to make it 12. 6 does go into 12 2 times. So 6 times 2, which is 12. Subtract. It's 0. I bring down the other 0. 6 goes into 0 0 times. Then I bring down the other 0. 6 go into 0 0 times. So I'm left with 0200 or 200. So that's how we got H equals 200. So our final answer, Karen has to work 200 hours in order to get $1,150 from her paycheck.